Life in Leiden was an improvement over Amsterdam for the Pilgrim congregation. Some members were able to support themselves working at Leiden University or in the textile, brewing, or printing trades.
Though conditions here in Holland were better than back in England, even things here became pretty unbearable for the Pilgrims. Many of them couldn't find profitable work because of a language barrier and their relatively rural background. But the Pilgrims also worried about permissive Dutch values on their children, and they couldn't even find full civil rights as Dutch citizens. The Leiden congregation soon voted to make their way toward the Americas. Maybe there they could start afresh without being totally dependent on the good graces of a skeptical host nation.
But there were many uncertainties about America. Stories had come back about failed colonies, violent American natives, and no sources for food and water. It probably felt like they were moving to another planet, and travel in primitive wooden ships was both unpleasant and hazardous. But the Pilgrims were motivated to start something new, their determination stemming from their worldview and their belief in the role of the Christian on earth, and in particular the words of Jesus from what today is considered the most famous sermon ever preached, the Sermon on the Mount. He said, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven."
The Matthew 5:14 passage is crucial in helping us understand the motivations of these Mayflower Pilgrims and others that followed. The very first settlers of Massachusetts and those who came after them really thought that they were fulfilling that ideal, and that the new colonies that they would establish in Virginia and Massachusetts and elsewhere in New England would serve as models for a more holy, more perfect civilization. They were not able to fully realize that in England, nor here in Leiden, Holland. Maybe they would in the New World.
The Pilgrims set out to create a shining city on a hill. Is that what America is today? I will leave that question for others to debate. But in their lifetime, the Scrooby settlers lived as they taught and as they believed. Their children and later generations, however, lost the zeal for their strict separatist faith and their way of life. And in the process, they lost other things, like peace with their Indian neighbors. But the original Scrooby separatists did succeed in living out the verse from the Bible that says, if possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. The Scrooby Pilgrims braved a treacherous voyage and a wild frontier to build a pioneer community of hardworking and faithful people. They remain a shining star in American history.